You know, guys, with all due respect, I genuinely think I need to send David VONDERHAAR to the gulag. And it's not because he did something terrible, it's not because he's an awful developer, it's not because he's bald, it's because the man single-handedly might have actually just put the final nail in the coffin for Call of Duty and for the portion of the community with common sense. This man is really leaving us with Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games. Guys, I don't think there is a worse crime you could commit in Call of Duty than to leave us with Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer. Now guys, in all seriousness, today is a very sad day, and actually this happened a couple of days ago, but I've been busy with other things, but it's been a sad string of days ever since David VONDERHAAR announced that he's essentially retiring from Call of Duty, and he's no longer working with Call of Duty or Activision or Treyarch anymore. I mean, as you can see here, David VONDERHAAR has left Activision and Treyarch. He announced the news on his LinkedIn, and I'm just gonna leave this on the screen for you guys to read it for a little bit. I'm not gonna go into it, but I just gotta let you guys know that reading this as a Call of Duty fan of many years, it actually kind of was sad, you know, and that's a little bit weird for the Scadmaster because I'm used to just talking shit, and if this were any other developer, trust me, if this were Joe Seacott, for example, I'd be throwing a fucking party. I mean, you guys would probably see me post a fucking montage on MW 2019 Part 2 in celebration of Joe Seacott leaving Call of Duty. I mean, that would be a fucking blessing, but when it's Vondy, it's a little different. I would honestly say he's pretty responsible for a lot of the greatest things to ever happen to Call of Duty. I mean, just to go down memory lane a little bit, the man is responsible for World at War. He's responsible for the entire Black Ops series, which, you know, the latest iteration of Black Ops was not very good, and I'll talk about that later, but nonetheless, he is responsible for some of the greatest moments in Call of Duty history. Now, I don't remember if it was COD 2 or COD 3 developed by Treyarch that was really dog shit, but that's in the past. We'll leave it alone. We'll just pretend it never happened. COD 4 is really where everything started anyways. But I mean, you see what he started in World at War. Then you go to Black Ops 1, and let me tell you guys, Black Ops 1 still is my favorite Call of Duty game of all time. It was also my first COD ever, so there's obviously some bias there. Then came Black Ops 2, and holy shit, that is pushing the fucking envelope. That game is literally prime Call of Duty. Then it's Black Ops 3, the best jetpack COD of all time. And even though people were down talking it at the time, the Scadmaster never did. I fucking loved Black Ops 4. I was a goddamn demon on that game. And I swear to God, if I had just started my channel 1 year prior to when I actually did, and I played Black Ops 4 on the channel to start my YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't even be making commentaries right now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. And then there was Black Ops Cold War, and look, I know there are some fans of it right now because I guess a year and a half later, maybe 2 years later, now it's good. Guys, back in Black Ops and Black Ops 2, we didn't need to wait a year and a half to 2 years. Right now, it could be okay, and I'm not gonna go back and find out. All I'm gonna say is, back then, you had one shot with your one life cycle, and David VONDERHAAR used to make that game his fucking bitch. And now he's gone. And it really fucking sucks. Because Treyarch is actually a great development studio, and I think even without him, I still think they're capable of doing some good shit. But that man is literally almost as iconic as any game developer could be for a game like Call of Duty. And to see him go, and he's talking about going to another project, I mean, I just wonder where he's going. A lot of people think he's going to XDefiant, some people think he's gonna create his own shit. Personally, I'd be interested to see him do his own thing, but if he happens to go to XDefiant, which I don't think he is, that would be some real blockbuster type shit. And just to put a little bit more respect on his name before I get to talking mad shit again, guys, the more I think about it, VONDERHAAR literally has more bangers under his belt than all of Infinity Ward combined and all of Sledgehammer Games combined put together. Think about it this way, guys. What does Infinity Ward have under their belt that was actually good? The original Modern Warfare series, and that's it. If you say MW 2019, I'm fucking sorry, but no. That's 3 under Infinity Ward's belt. Sledgehammer Games has half of MW3, the original one. They have half of World War II, and they have Advanced Warfare, which, yes, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I was fucking crazy at that game, and I loved it. So, Infinity Ward has 3, and Sledgehammer Games has 2 total. That's 5 altogether. VONDERHAAR literally has World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 4. That is 5. And for what a lot of people are saying, apparently Cold War is good, so we're gonna keep that same energy, right? We're gonna count Cold War in here. That is 6 under his belt compared to the 5 total between Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games. Guys, we're not gonna get another guy like Vondi anytime soon, and if we're talking about Joe Seacott's in the fucking gulag, and Vondi has his freedom. Vondi has his human rights, Joe Seacott does not. I don't know who's manning Sledgehammer Games, but whoever the fuck that guy is, no human rights. Now, I mentioned this a little bit before, but we do need to talk about some downsides to what this is. And when it comes to Treyarch's next game out in 2024, I still think it has potential to be pretty solid. Hopefully it's better than Cold War, which I genuinely think it might be better than Cold War. But with Vondi gone, I don't know. It kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, even though he's been involved with that project for just a little bit at least. I mean, it's at least been a few years of him working on this next project, but it just makes me think, what the fuck happened during the development of this next game for Vondi to call it quits, right? Because he could have done this immediately after Cold War. He could have done this during Cold War. He could have done it last year, a year and a half ago. But no, he didn't. He did it 1 year prior to the game actually launching, and it really makes me wonder, did Activision do some weird shit with Treyarch again? Remember, VONDERHAAR is literally responsible for some of the greatest moments in Call of Duty history before we got new-gen Infinity Ward, before we got new-gen Sledgehammer Games, before we got new-gen SBMM, before we got bundles and seasonal content and all of this stupid BR bullshit. VONDERHAAR literally made Call of Duty what it was before any of that shit existed. And something just tells me that maybe Activision was pushing a little bit too much on these newer concepts into this next Treyarch game, which is supposed to have like 4 years of development, so we're definitely expecting some really good stuff, but a lot of these good possible things could easily be ruined by SBMM, by bundles and microtransactions and BLACKCELL and seasonal content and Warzone. All of those things really do bring down the fun aspects of Call of Duty, at least in my opinion, and that's something that Treyarch zones in on very easily. And if it's being brought down so much, it's possible that Vondi was looking at this and was like, you know what, I'm done with this. And I'm sorry that my mind goes that way, but just experiencing the last 4 years of Call of Duty, that is all we've known. And it sucks because, once again, I actually like Vondi. He's like the only developer that I refuse to send into the gulag because I actually think he's pretty good. I mean, he's fucking bald, so there's that, but he literally survived a shit ton of death threats because he nerfed the DSR. And the man still stuck with us. And he communicated with the community, and he actually played the games, and he would respond to people, he would go out to events, he would see what the pros were doing and see what they were thinking, and he implemented it into the public matches with casual gameplay elements. And for the most part, with the exception of the first year of Cold War, it came out good. To me, it is a true heavy loss, and it's just at a really, really bad moment, and that's why I'm thinking so negatively of this, because the current state of Call of Duty is really bad, and it's people like David Vonderhaar that would actually make it pretty tolerable. And so for me at least, when I first heard of this, my initial reaction was, guys, as if shit could not get any worse in the Call of Duty community. The one guy who could have possibly pulled this out of the dirt, he just called it quits. And that sucks. The way I see it, Treyarch is literally just a punching bag to Activision right now, and David Vonderhaar might have just gotten sick of it, and to me that just makes sense. The only thing I'll say that I'm upset with Vondi about is the fact that he's leaving us with these two fucking moronic development teams. But who knows, maybe he goes to X-Defiant and he takes a fat steamy shit all over MW 2019 Part 3. One can only hope, guys. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts on Vonderhaar leaving Call of Duty after so many bangers under his belt? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles. It's been a very long time since a week.